So good morning students, my name is Satyajit Pal and welcome to lecture number 3 of Introduction to Computer Science. Today's topic is database. Okay, so when we talk about databases, see, let me give you a very simple example that everyone, I'll take the previous example which I have mentioned in my previous videos. Okay, I'll take the example of a similar Flipkart app. So suppose you have opened the Flipkart app. Now it is suppose open on your desktop. Okay, so you have opened the Flipkart app on your desktop. So when you go to your My Account section, okay, when you click on your My Account section here, various details pop up, right? Various details tend to pop up. Now what are these various details? It will have your name, it will have your phone number, it will have your address, it will have your previous orders, right? It will have your previous orders. So all these details pop up to the front end. But one question might come in your mind that where are these details stored? Okay, where are these details stored? So whatever we are seeing in this application, when you open this application, whatever we see or whatever the visual is available to us, that is the front end. That is the front end. But all the details are stored in a separate place called the database. Okay, it is like a place where we store all the details, but that is hidden. It is at the back end. Okay, it is being hidden from us. We cannot see the database. It is visually not possible to see the database. It is hidden from us. Okay, so I hope it is clear till now. So now coming to what is a database. Okay, as you can see, a database is an organized collection of information or data typically stored in an electronic computer system. Okay, so not only stored in an electronic computer system, it can be stored nowadays, it can be stored online also. Nowadays database can be stored online as well as offline. Both the options are being available. Now this is the front end on which we are operating and this is the back end. Okay, so this back end contains all the information like your name, your order, your address, your phone number, okay, your history. All these details are stored in the back end. Now whenever you want to, apart from all these details, whatever Flipkart has to offer, the items, whatever items, okay, whatever categories, all these details are stored in the database. So whenever we want to ask something or whenever we want to search for something, we just have to type the name. For example, we have to buy a pair of jeans. We just type it and search, right? We just type it and search, and whenever we search this thing, a query gets executed. Okay, a query gets executed. Now let me make it more simple. So whenever we are looking for jeans, okay, suppose we are looking for jeans. So whenever we are looking for jeans, we type the word jeans here in the search bar that is available in the Flipkart app. It is right here. So we just search for this thing, and what happens? Immediately all the categories get shown here like this. That means what? Whenever you have typed this jeans word, it will go and look for this jeans in the database, right? Means it is like a storehouse of information. It is like a storehouse where the information is stored where? In an organized way. Okay, so it will look for the jeans in the database, and when it finds all the details that are available in jeans, it will do? It will display it here. Suppose item 1, 2, 3 like this. This only happens, right? Whenever we click on something, suppose we want to click on, suppose a pair of jeans or maybe shirt or maybe t-shirt. So it will go and look by our command. The command, what it says jeans here. So it will go in the database, it will look for jeans and it will display all the data that is available on the front end, right? So you can call database is like a box where all the information is being kept in simple terms, right? Now how does this thing work? I have typed for jeans, but how it is going and searching, right? So for this we have a language or a SQL. It is structured query language. Okay, so it is through the help of this SQL or structured query language that whatever we type here, it gets converted into SQL or some queries. Now what is query? What is query? So you can say query equal to a question. Query is like a question. It is like a question. Suppose we are asking for something. Okay. So what it will do? It will convert it into structured query language or queries, and through queries it will go and search it in the database. Okay. It will search it in the database and it will show all the results in the front end. I hope it is clear to you all that it is like a cycle. It is like a cycle. Whenever you search for jeans or any item, it gets converted into some structured query language. Now what are queries? We'll go in the more details in the second lecture. Okay, let us assume that this is the first lecture on databases. So till now you must know that you are looking for something, you type it, it gets converted into structured query languages, and when this query gets executed, okay, then only the results get shown here. That means what? Your queries or questions have been answered and it gets displayed in the front end. I hope it is clear. Okay. So now SQL. Okay. Coming to SQL. Coming to SQL or databases. SQL means structured query language. Okay. Now query means questions or looking for something. Query means questions or basically looking for something. When we want to look for something, we write it in the form of SQL or structured query language. Okay. It was a language developed for extracting data from the database. So it is developed for extracting information what is available in the database. Okay. Now what is the software being used? The software being used for this SQL is MySQL. Okay. MySQL is a software which is developed for using databases and executing queries. Now, who developed it? It was developed by Oracle. It was developed by a very famous company named Oracle. Okay. Now, what can be the example of databases? Let us imagine. For example, many social media apps. There are many social media apps like, let's say, Facebook, let's say Instagram. For example, let's say Gmail, maybe Flipkart, Amazon. So all these social media applications, whatever is available in maybe in the PC or maybe in the mobile phones, all these applications have their separate databases, right? So let us take the example of Gmail. So have you ever imagined that whenever you want to open Gmail, you will open it either in your computer or you will try to open it either in your mobile phone. But has it ever happened that Gmail or your account in Gmail is not opening? It doesn't happen. As because all your data, all the information, all your mails, whatever you get from different persons, all those details are stored at the back end, in the database, and this database is there on some online servers. Okay, this database is available on some online servers. So there is not one server, there are many servers which contain your personal data. So as whenever you try to access the data, it is available and ready for you. Okay, so that is the reason that whenever you want to open Gmail, it gets opened up. Similarly, Flipkart, Amazon, all these applications have your account, they have your personal information. So all this personal information gets opened up as soon as you open the app, and all the details get transferred from your database and it is shown in these applications, right? So these are certain examples of database, real life examples of database. Okay. Now, one more thing. This database, okay, database. Now, how is your information stored in the database? Let us take one more example. You can imagine database like a bookshelf. You can imagine database like a bookshelf. Okay. Now, whenever I use the term bookshelf, how is a bookshelf? It appears quite like this, right? The books are kept in a structured manner. And also these books are kept according to some category, right? Or it might be kept according to year of publishment. It might be kept according to name. It might be kept according to author. Right? So these are various forms in which the bookshelf can be arranged. So why do we arrange these in this manner? So that whenever we want to search for certain book, it is readily available to us. Right? So in a similar manner, if I keep all the books by their name, suppose book starts with the name A, it is available here. The book which starts from B, it is available here. Then books which start with C, these are available here. Then D, then E. Okay, right? So suppose I am a person who is looking for book D. Okay, let's say okay. So let us say that I am looking for the book D2. So what will I do? I will go to the library, right? I will go to the bookshelf. I will go and search. That search, whatever search we do, that is only termed as query. Query means searching. Okay? Query means searching. So whenever we type through SQL, we do this query. Through the structured query language only, we try to make a query or look for something. So by using this SQL, what we will do? We will create a query. Query means a question. Like it is like a question or a command. So we will look for the book, let's say D2. I am looking for the book D2. So it will go on searching here, and finally at this point, it has found the book D2. So what it will do? I have found this book D2. I will take this book out and this book is available with me, right? So database also works in the same way. Whenever we type or search for something, it looks and goes and it creates a query, it goes and looks for that thing in the database, okay? And as soon as it finds something, it returns it to the what? Front end, and so that we can see it, right? So I hope this example is clear. So you can compare database with a bookshelf, right? Where everything is arranged in a certain manner. So that is why I am saying that I will repeat this thing again, that database is a collection of organized Database is an organized collection of information or data typically stored in an electronic computer system. Okay, so we'll store it in an electronic device only, right? As because, see, earlier days are gone where we used to store the things in like hard form, on hard paper, right? Earlier days, what we used to do? We used to maintain registers. We used to maintain big books, thick copies for maintaining the details. But those days are over. Since the days are digitalized right now, so what we need to do is that we should store the information in virtual manner. Okay, so that is why we take the help of electronic devices or maybe an online databases, right? So all these online databases or certain electronic devices, what they help us with? They help us with maintaining the database. And in database, see, whenever you are confused about database, imagine it like a bookshelf, where all the books are arranged systematically and in a certain organized manner, and you can go and look for that thing here itself. You will not find any clumsiness, you will not find anything arranged in a haphazard manner. It is arranged sequentially. You can go type your query, you can look for that item here, and it will give you the result then and there. Okay. So I hope this thing is clear. See, it is very important to know about databases. Okay. Why? The thing is that with programming, whenever you learn about programming, it is not only necessary that you will learn only about the programming techniques or write different programs, but a software only works when there is a combination of front end and back end. That is, you have to have a knowledge about the front end, that is programming also. You have to have a knowledge about the design also, as well as you have to have a knowledge of the database also. You will have to have a knowledge of the database. Okay, because the software won't work without any information, right? It will work on certain users' information which has been given, and we have to store that information in certain memory, right? So for storing that information, we need this database. So that is why database, having a knowledge about database, little bit, only a brief idea about database would be enough for now. Okay, in the next classes or next videos, we shall come up with more deeper details of what is a database. Okay, and I shall give you more examples. Okay, so that you can relate this database to the real life world. It is not necessary that database will be stored only in certain hardware or computer system. It is stored in cloud. I hope you are aware about cloud, right? I hope everyone is aware about cloud. Cloud is like an online platform. Cloud is like an online platform where things or our personal information can be stored. In a similar manner, we can store our databases in cloud. Okay, those facilities are also available now. So you can give certain amount of you can give certain amount of fees so that you can have certain amount of data or space in online that will be given. For example, let's say you have a capacity of 50 GB. Okay, so you can store up to 50 GB of data, or you are going to have a space of 50 GB online where you can store your personal data. Okay, so it may be extended. So various companies, what they do for keeping their data safe, they keep it virtually online. Okay, so this was a very brief idea about what is database and the system. See, MySQL, I've mentioned about MySQL. So this is also a kind of database management system. Okay, MySQL is a kind of database management system where you can make or create a database. Okay, so what I would suggest is that you begin with MySQL. For learning or having a knowledge about database, you should always start with MySQL. Learn the queries, execute and perform various kind of queries so that you can have more practice, more details, and you can have a good grip, so as to say. Okay, because having a knowledge of front end and back end is very essential. You might know programming, but if you don't have a knowledge about database, then there is no use. Okay, so a combination of both these things will help you in building a very nice and good software. Okay, so with that, I'll end today's video and we shall learn more about databases in our upcoming next videos. Thank you.